Yeah, the life of Scony.
What's up, YouTube? What's going on? I was just hopping on here, have a conversation with y'all real quick. I know if you've seen the title, I posed a question. Do you like math? It's weird. I asked this question because I was talking to somebody, and we got on the subject of math, and they was just saying how much they hate math, right? So what was interesting to me is I brought up the fact that a long time ago, one of my uncles, actually one of my great uncles, my grandfather's brother, he's an educator. Matter of fact, two of my grandfather's brothers are educators, right? So of course they big on education. My grandfather was no different. He wasn't an educator. He was pretty good in math, and he was the one that taught me math. But I went to high school in Arkansas and lived with my uncle, my great uncle, and he was the principal of two schools at the same time, two elementary schools at the same time, and he actually he taught college math twice a week. I had that same thought process of I hate math. I hated math, right? And I told that to my uncle one day, and he sat me down and he said, "Let me explain something to you." He said basically another term for math is problem solving. And he said, "Young man, everyone in this world, of every race, creed, color, and background, is gonna encounter problems throughout their life, right?" He said, and including yourself. You're gonna encounter problems for the rest of your life, as long as you live. He said, the best thing you can do in life is be great at problem solving. And that's one thing that math teaches you. And we all know the basics of math is, addition, subtraction. You learn how to count, how to add, how to subtract, how to multiply, how to divide. And then you start getting into things like algebra, geometry. And I had the person that I was having this conversation with, they brought up the fact that I've never used 3.14. I ain't never used pi outside of school. And I said, I understand that, but here's the thing. I actually had a job working at a machine shop, and at this particular machine shop, we only handled rubber rollers that basically are in the shape of a cylinder, right? Which is, a cylinder has a circle. Therefore, these rolls had a circumference. And the way we would figure out how much rubber, but even metal, to tool these things with, we used pi. So I used pi daily, working for this place for 8 years. So there is a place for everything. Every mathematical equation you've ever encountered, there's a place in life for it. Just because you haven't encountered it doesn't mean it's not necessary. When you walk into Home Depot, Lowe's, all those tools in the tool section, they have a use. Just because you don't know how to use said tool and what it's used for doesn't make it irrelevant. It makes it irrelevant to you. It doesn't make it irrelevant, or else it wouldn't even exist. Just like yourself. The reason you are listening to the sound of my voice is because you're alive and you're here in this world, and you definitely have a reason to be here and a purpose to be here. And that's your duty to find what that thing is and to be great at it. With all that being said, back to the point. I always tell people that say that they hate math, I always go back to what my uncle said. To say you hate math is to say that you hate solving problems. And how could you hate solving problems when, again, you're gonna encounter them for the rest of your life? We all encounter problems daily, small ones, big ones. And again, if you're great at math, you're gonna be a great problem solver. So that means, because I was great at math, I'm still great at math. With that being said, I'm great at solving problems. So when I encounter a problem, my thing is to attack it and tackle it and solve it, versus to run away, hide from it, or act as if it doesn't exist, or cry myself to sleep about it, or whatever anybody else does when they encounter problems. You face it, you solve, you figure it out. You take it like an algebra equation, and you break it down until you can't break it down anymore because you can't figure out what X is or Y is. So every problem in your life can't be solved today, but you can break it down. You know, you can make strides at solving the issue, and more strides will eventually, you may find out what X is and you can solve for X, and that means you solve the entire equation, you solve the problem. This is life. Life be lifing, as they said. You may be an adult and you may be, you're gonna hold on to that thought process and say you hate math, and that's okay. It's not okay, but it has to be. You have a right to live your life the way you choose to live your life. I just encourage you to think differently about it. And you may be at that age where you like, I don't have time to learn math or what have you. But what you do have, especially if you have children, you can definitely encourage them to enjoy math, to attack math, to look at it as problem solving, which it is, and to encourage them to grow up and be adults that can solve problems effectively and without putting a lot of emotion and things of that nature in. A lot of children and adults that unalive themselves, it's due to, most of the times, you know, depression is a big part of it. But here's the thing, problem solving helps reduce the depression in a human being. Because here's the thing, like I said, we all go through things, but if you have some good reasoning and problem solving skills, you can identify your own depression or identify it in your loved ones, children, spouse, family members, cousins, sisters, brother, what have you, and you can help them solve the depression. Because a lot of times depression comes from, I mean, we all know depression comes from a lot of different spaces. Not feeling loved, not feeling appreciated, not feeling anything, etc. Like, know the signs. You see, that's a part of, this is not math, but it's a part of it. It's part of reasoning. It's like, it makes you think. Math makes you think. It forces you to think, or not to think, to shut down. But if you're a great problem solver, you'll think about it. You'll look for ways to help because you're a problem solver. I'm a problem solver. That's why I'm making this video, I'm creating this video to hopefully create more problem solvers in the world. You know, not starting out in your own life, right? But if you can solve problems in your own life, you can get to a point where you can start solving problems in the lives of others. And that's a purpose in itself, right? Because we have to collectively reduce the amount of depression in the world. And the way we do that is learning how to, number one, identify it, and then number two, knowing how to help people communicate and get to a better space, you know. And I think we can do it. I really do. I know we can. And with that being said, I need the help of each and every one of y'all listening to the sound of my voice to do your part. And that is, like I said, learn. One of the greatest things about YouTube is the fact that we can get out here and we can spread messages to one another. On top of it, you get to look for it versus hoping it finds you. There's a video, I'm sure there's a video, if you type in the search engine how to identify depression, right? Boom. And you watch several videos on that, you start to become an expert at identifying depression. Tools to help reduce depression. Exercises to help with depression. And you start learning these things, and then you can help the people that don't realize that all they need to do is search out what you searched out. Because a lot of people go through things, and to solve it is really one search click away, but they don't have the presence of mind to search out the problem because they're too busy being consumed by it. So let's help each other. Like they say, each one can teach one. if we can reach one. So I appreciate the fact that I reached you, and I hope you take this in. I hope this changes the way you see things. If you see things that way, if you don't, I appreciate you for being a lover of math, a lover of problem solving. I'm looking forward to this world changing. I know it can change. I know it will change. And it's going to take you, me, each of us, all of us, to put in our 2 cents to add up to that 100%. And we got this. We got this. We just got to work at it. Put one foot in front of the other and keep it going, right? I guess it's a boy. But nah, appreciate the time, love, support, man. Y'all could have been watching any video out here in these YouTube streets. You took the time to watch this one. I hope this helps someone. I know it will, but I hope it helps more than what I anticipate. I hope this message reaches you in good spirits, in good health, and I hope you have the presence of mind to become a great problem solver, because it will greatly improve your life. Trust me, it'll greatly improve your life. And of course, you can get with the help of God, definitely with the help of God. But God uses us. He needs us as much as we need him. And that's the truth. That's the truth. God needs us as much as we need him, because he gave us this world. And he gave it to us to take care of it, not to destroy it. And there's so many of us out here not doing enough, which is allowing it to be destroyed. And we got to do better. First thing, we got to do better about ourselves. Not about just others, but about ourselves, how we treat ourselves. Like I said, depression is a thing, but it only exists because we allow it to exist in ourselves, because we don't push it out. And a lot of us just need help knowing and learning how to do it. And again, if we can get this message out here, that it's within us to destroy the things that do not belong in us, in the world, in society, and that's how we win, y'all. You know what I'm saying? And it's a simple math problem. Subtract the BS, add more love, add more intelligence, add more God, equals great things. Life is coming.